Welcome or welcome back to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha, and this is a pick a card reading to find out how will your marriage be. I've got 6 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the red Jasper. Group 2 is the tiger's eye. Group 3 is the smoky quartz. Group 4 is the garnet. Group 5 is the apatite. And group 6 is the Angelite. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice, otherwise I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below. You can also find details of my personal readings if you're interested. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. See you in your reading. This reading is for you if you chose the red Jasper. Let's see what cards you have. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle you have Merlin, Cosmic Knowledge. From the Angel Guide Oracle you have Joy and Contentment. And Angelic Protection. From the Universal Love Healing cards you have Answered Prayer. From the Black Moon Astrology cards you have Grand Cross, Provoker. From the Tower of the Divine you have the Four of Cups, the Star, and the Five of Cups. And then from the Tower of Sexual Magic you have the King of Chalices. I'm feeling like your marriage is going to come at the perfect time for you, and it's going to be something which is very sacred to you. I feel like you're going to hold your partner very close to your heart. I feel like you'll have a very nice home together. You'll feel very comfortable with this person and very protected. Like I feel they'll be very protective over you and they won't want to see anything bad happen to you. For some of you, I feel like they might be a bit overprotective, and I feel like you might feel... For some of you, it depends on your temperament, whether you would like someone who's a bit, maybe slightly too concerned about you sometimes. In a caring way, it's not like a dominant way or anything like that. But for some of you, I feel like for your temperament, you might find that you don't agree with it, and you might find that you get a bit rubbed up the wrong way by their care and attentiveness sometimes, because this person is going to be very attentive. And I feel like they are kind of the sort of person you would hope for if you're not with them already, and this is the kind of marriage you would hope for. And I do see you guys being very close. I see a lot of cuddling and a lot of home time, like you guys staying at home together. I feel this person's very sensual and they like physical touch and nice fabrics and comfy sofas and lying in bed and massage and just being in like your natural state. Like I feel like this person's quite homely and they don't really want to go out that much. But yeah, for some of you, you might find that they maybe don't want you to go out as much. And if you're the kind of person that always wants to go out, you might just find it a bit disappointing in the end. For some of you, it's not for everyone, because I do see some of you were like really happy with the thought that this person is homely. Because maybe you're quite homely as well. And it's not like I'm saying they'll never let you go out and they'll watch you like a hawk or something like that. But for some of you, I am getting the impression that they may maybe be a bit too much for you personally, for your temperament. And I just feel like for some of you, it's like not particularly your vibe. And for others, it's like the prayer answered that you've been waiting for, like someone who's really caring and really notices you. Like they notice if you're upset and they notice if you're feeling sad. And they want you all the time. Like they want you to be there as much as possible. They want to cuddle you all the time. They don't really want you to go anywhere too far without them, because they'll miss you. Like this person feels really sad when you're not with them. So it's not really like they're controlling or anything. It's just like they love having you there. They feel safe with you there. And I feel like you'll feel safe with them by your side as well. So it's just one of those things where I feel like it's a very emotional connection. I do see this person's very emotional and they have like a soft heart. They have a very easy to bruise heart, I want to say. Like they're easily offended and they're easily put off by things. And they might get easily wounded and easily hurt. And I do feel like at times you guys might hurt each other's feelings accidentally. I feel like for most of you, you're going to grow up and figure out each other's triggers and like sore points and things like that, and learn to nurture each other and heal each other's wounds. But I do see that sometimes there'll be things that you disagree on and there'll be tension. And at times, I do feel like for some of you, this might be an age gap relationship. Like maybe you're a few years different in your age. It doesn't have to be anything like crazy, but just maybe a few years. One of you has a few years on the other. And I do feel like for a while, you might find there's like a certain moment when you disagree with each other. Like, I don't know if maybe your partner's a little bit older than you. And maybe in certain ways you don't always understand them, but maybe eventually you do. It's like it takes you a little while to understand them, maybe sometimes. Or vice versa, and I do see that you will want to hold tight to each other even if you do sometimes argue and do sometimes disagree. And I feel like you will be very emotional over each other. It feels like highly, intensely emotional. And again, for some of you watching, I feel like that's not necessarily your thing. It's not necessarily your cup of tea. But for most of you, I feel like you're going to be really happy with this person because it feels like it's very easygoing for the most part. Like, I do feel you get on and you do build a very secure home together. And this person stays being your dream person. They stay being your fantasy, the sort of person you'd wish for. I am seeing a lot of physical touch between you. It feels like maybe their love language is physical touch. And I do see you being very cuddly with each other and really open and expressive with your feelings. So it's like the arguments would be resolved very quickly, and I don't even see them being bad arguments, but I see this person being kind of influential in your growth and your maturity process. This person seems very clever and they're very brave. And they're the kind of person where they do pray a lot and they're very spiritually protected. And I feel like your marriage will be very spiritually protected. It feels like it lasts. Some of you may fall out here and there, but I feel like for most of you it's really lasting. Like, you're going to hold on to each other. You won't want to let go of each other. And I do feel like you'll be very sad if you do even like spend a night apart. Like, I feel like if you spend a night away from your partner, you're going to really miss them and like almost cry because you want to just be home with them and not wherever you went. And it's not codependent or anything, but I just feel like this person gives you your, I know it's cheesy, but like they give you your wings and they make you feel proud of yourself and they make you feel at home and at ease and comfortable. And I just see that sometimes you might just allow your feelings to get the best of you when it comes to this person in good and bad ways. Like, I feel like you won't be able to help yourself to just cuddle them in certain moments when you feel like sweet towards them. They are really sweet and I feel like they'll do really kind things for you to show you that they're there for you and to show you that they're going to protect you. I do feel like they'll pray for you and they'll be a kind of healer in your life, it seems, and it feels like they are very educated and smart and good at a lot of things, I want to say. It feels like this person's good with money. They're good at keeping money. I feel like they don't spend too much. They're maybe an accountant, or I'm not sure if they're someone who's really just like on top of like watching their pennies or if they invest. But I also feel like they manifest, like they're not stagnant. They're not stuck on things. They don't hold on to things too tightly. It's just that they know how to grow their money and they don't want to let any get away from them on like stupid, wasteful things. Their quality of life is very important to them and their home is very important to them. They, like I said, they like to be comfortable and they like nice things. I feel like they like gardening and animals and pets and kind of like spiritual things. They like magic. They like to have a sense of mystery. This will be quite romantic, I feel like, this connection. And I do feel like you'll spend a lot of time at home, but you're also going to go on really amazing getaways and vacations. I feel like you're going to travel quite far with this person and do sort of things like your dream vacation and maybe move into your dream house. Maybe you guys will find that one of you pursues like a dream career. I'm not sure if like one of you's a singer, or maybe you are really into animals and it's like animal conservation or wildlife conservation, or maybe if one of you's like really into gardening. I'm seeing the sense of like someone winning an award or something. It could be like a royal gardening award or something. Really exciting energy for one of you in the coupleship. I feel like you bring out each other's best. Particularly when it comes to work, it feels like very good for your career to get married. I know that's a funny thing to say, but marriage is a business and life partnership. Like, you're going to join finances. It's like if you marry someone with bad credit and they move into your house, all of a sudden now your credit rating is bad because theirs is bad. It's like you're linked financially, and them looking bad on paper to like the government can make you look bad. So yeah, you don't have to worry about anything like that with this person, because this person's very safe with money. They're very good with money. They like to keep their eye on their spending. They don't get rid of things too quickly. Like, I feel like this person is the sort of person where they don't buy things in a rush. Like, they're very slow to make choices with things that they would lust after even. It's like they would save up for a wish list item and like pray for it and wish for it and save the pennies until they can afford it, rather than say like getting it on loan or credit or something. This person would just feel disappointed that they couldn't afford it yet and keep doing work and trying to save for it and hope that they'll get it later. I do feel like you guys would definitely be able to like afford a house together, and it would be like really nice, like your dream home. And I feel this person gives you a lot of hope, and they believe in you and they believe in your dreams, and you're going to believe in them and their dreams. And they are really protective over you, and they will shield you from, I want to say, criticism and problems. I feel like this person is quite quick to they're quite quick to be protective if they need to. Like, they're quite tough, let's say, and they don't really like to argue, I feel like, but they're very quick to finish it if someone starts it with them. I don't know why, I'm just feeling this sense of this person having like this tough spirit that not everyone will like. And maybe even for you, you might find them challenging at times. Like, I do feel like this is not the easiest person to deal with, but for you, they're like your dream person. They're very good looking. They're really, I want to say they're like really angelic and sweet, and they seem to be someone who's going to like win some kind of award or prize, or maybe it's you with their kind of support. I want to say like you and them together, maybe. It does feel like you really learn from them and they learn from you. And I feel like they bring out your good light. Like, they kind of like show you in a good light. I hope that makes sense to you. It's like when you see yourself through their eyes, you see yourself in such a beautiful way because of how they look at you. It's like it makes you see yourself differently, and it makes you really happy to be you. And I just feel like this person would never say a bad thing about you. They would always talk you up, like, to other people. They would tell everyone how amazing you are and really go hard on anyone who was rude about you or anything like that. They're very sweet. They're honestly like a really safe person to love. I just see there's like emotional intensity here. And I do feel like you guys are very cuddly with each other and you're very expressive with your emotions. So it's likely that if you do argue, it will be like very quick, and then maybe one of you gets upset and apologizes and you're back to like cuddling and making up and making love. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reading group 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. If you like a personal reading, the information will be below. And you can also find details on my Patreon and my PayPal for donations if you're feeling generous. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the tiger side. Let's see what cards you have. From the Angel Guide Oracle, you have Mother, Father, God. And Harmony and Resolution. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle, you have Nematona, Safe Space. From the Universal Love Healing cards, you have Physical Body. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have 7th House, Partners. From the Tower of the Divine, you have the Queen of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Coins. And then from the Tower of Sexual Magic, you have the 3 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm feeling like this relationship will be very exciting, like the person you marry. I feel like you guys will have really, really exciting intimacy. Like, your sex life will be really, really, really good. And I do feel like you'll connect in that way really regularly. Like, it will be one of those things where I feel like if you guys do ever argue, you'll be the kind of couple where you do want to have like make-up sex, for example. And I do feel like your partner will kind of worship you and you will worship your partner. And I do feel like you're always gonna have that spark between you. Even when you're older, I feel like it's just going to continue throughout the relationship, that spark of attraction and desire between you. It seems like you're really attractive to your partner and your partner is very, very, very attractive to you. And I feel like you do have that kind of fiery connection where you will want to lie together regularly, I feel like, and it will strengthen your relationship. I do feel like the last pile had like physical touch as a love language, and I feel like for you guys it's physical touch, but it's more intense than the last group. The last group was more like cuddly, and this one I'm feeling is more sexual. It's more urgent, like the desire between you, it's going to be very urgent. I do feel like you will have a very, very fulfilling sex life. But yeah, I feel like this relationship is going to take a bit of work. It feels like at times you and this person might struggle with like distance. I'm not sure if one of you travels for work or something, but yeah, it feels like there's going to be certain times where maybe one of you's like far away from the other, or maybe like emotional distance. Just like one of you's busy working and maybe you're not as emotionally connected as you are sometimes. I'm getting the impression that like there's like a really strong emotional bond and you have really, really intense feelings for each other. But maybe someone at some point is having to, I feel like, go on some kind of long journey or a kind of like way away. I don't know what it is. It's like maybe someone has to travel abroad and someone has to stay home to work. And it just seems like a time when it's really stressful, and I feel like you're going to be really happy when the partner that goes away comes home and you get to be together again. It's like you just met again, the kind of intense emotional and physical fire that you feel whenever you see each other after a break, I feel like. So it's like, say one of you goes away from home for a couple of days. It's like the first time you ever kissed, when you come home and kiss each other and you get really, really extra excited about each other and it's just extra spicy and you're just so happy to be in each other's arms again. It feels like a really tense moment happens in this marriage, and I just need to tell you about like this one tense moment where it's maybe something to do with work, and I do feel like some of you guys, you might have a work connection with this person. And maybe you do the same job for work, but there might be maybe like competition. I'm not sure if you do find that maybe one person has to do something with like a different team. I'm not sure. It's like maybe you and your partner work together and one of you gets promoted to like a different department, where they're maybe hanging in a different circle and like going out with different people, and like you're left doing maybe more work than they have to do now for like less money, and it feels like it just creates like maybe a moment where you don't feel as close, and it feels like one person might have the ability to get it back together more than the other. Like it's not like you break up or anything, but I'm seeing just like a moment where someone goes a bit less warm towards the other and it needs to be reconnected. And I feel like there is potential for, if somebody gets really upset by that situation, for it to maybe change, like the relationship could change as a result of it. So it's just a small warning, and I'm not sure if some of you are already married to this person, but it does feel like you can always get back together with like just like one romantic moment. It's like one kiss, you can get back together. As soon as you have sex, it's just like it never happened. Like no moment of disconnect ever happened is what I'm feeling. So yeah, don't worry about those kind of messages. It just feels like you guys will always get back together and feel safe with each other still. And I do feel like you're really good together as long-term partners, and you understand each other and you talk really well and you have shared emotions. I feel like you will kind of be therapists to each other for things that happened long ago in each other's lives that you've been working through separately and maybe not finding it easy to get through. I feel like you're both really good at caring for each other's emotions and taking care of each other in a kind of nurturing, friendly way. When maybe someone's having a stressful time and wanting to go off on their own, I feel like the other will be really understanding and be there for them, waiting, and know how to get through their emotions. Like I do feel like sometimes you'll be really necessary for each other because of like various emotional stuff that either of you are going through in your lives. It's like someone goes through a moment which is very important to them on a personal level. It's like a personal moment of discovery and growth. And it feels like it's very important for them to maybe have some time on their own to go through it. And it just feels like a kind of like maybe like a dark night of the soul for one person in the coupleship. And it feels like sensitivity and compassion will be needed. I don't know why all this information is coming through, but Spirit just feels like it's necessary. I feel like you guys are really attracted to each other's, like, it's going to sound really random, but like legs and arms. I don't know why, but it's like there's something coming through about legs and arms. But in general, I do feel like everything about the other person is attractive to you. And it's worth doing work on this relationship. It's worth putting in the effort. I do feel like you might have to leave some things behind in your life because of this marriage and this relationship. And it might just be things from your past that you've been healing from and dealing with. It's like I'm getting the impression of you guys working through some stuff together, like maybe couples therapy, or like I said, like giving each other therapy even, like maybe you guys are psychiatrists, or I don't know if you actually do anything for work like that, or if it's just that you guys are really caring towards each other and know how to lend like an open ear and an open heart. And maybe be there to just like a kiss and make them feel better, like make them smile again when they're having a bad day. I do feel like there'll be a lot of communication between you. And I feel like sometimes one of you might be really stressed at work and missing the messages from the other kind of thing. And it's like hard for the person who's not getting a response to wait for a response. But they'll be really happy when they get it. And I do feel a sense of you glamorizing each other and romanticizing each other and kind of putting each other on a bit of a pedestal when it comes to your physical attractiveness. It's like neither of you find anyone else in the world as attractive as each other, and neither of you would ever find the same level of like physical intimacy and passionate lovemaking with each other. It just feels like you're like really 10 out of 10 to each other, and I feel like you do kind of worship each other in that way. But also in terms of respect, like I feel like you have a lot of respect for each other's work, particularly if you do work in the same industry, and I feel there's a lot of trust between you. And you'll be able to share secrets between each other and trust that they won't pass it on to anyone else. You'll be able to feel safe with this person emotionally, and I do feel like if you do need some space from them, you can tell them. Even if they get a bit frustrated, or if you get frustrated that they need space, I do feel like you'll be open with each other about it. And like if someone, say, gets promoted and the other one's annoyed, you can avoid things going wrong, let's say, by just trying to communicate more, I want to say. Like maybe that's for someone right now, and it's like one person's getting promoted and someone isn't. And I feel like you can still be really supportive of your partner, and maybe you don't have to work anymore because they earn more, so you can maybe quit and, I don't know, maybe just like take more time out and look after them or something like that. So yeah, it feels like someone might have to leave some things in their life for the relationship, but it will feel worth it. It just might take some time. Like I feel maybe this marriage might take some time for somebody to feel sure about. Like maybe somebody at first is needing time to think about the decision, or to get over some inner child stuff or something like that. But it feels like it's very meant to happen anyway, and it feels like it's a very safe marriage. And you'll be very trusting of your partner, and it's just like constant need to keep working on yourselves, I want to say, because it's like I want to say one or both of you have some inner child healing to do, or maybe you're having therapy or something like that. And it feels like there's a lot of growth in this relationship going through all the way to the future. And anything that needs to be let go of or left in the past, I feel like it will be. It just might be a bit difficult. And I feel like sometimes when you're doing work on yourself, it might be quite hard. And maybe one person might get it easier than the other, and one person might have maybe an easier time of life than the other in the relationship. Like maybe one person's just like destined for career greatness, and the other person is destined for maybe for things to go a bit wrong for them a little bit, or to have more little I want to say like slight things to work on in life. And it just might be that sometimes you're not on the same page anymore because one of you's flying high and one of you's like having a low moment. So do try and still be there for each other if that happens. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the reading group too. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. If you'd like a personal, the information will be below, and you can also find details of my Patreon and my PayPal for donations. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Smokey Quartz. Let's see what cards you have. From the Angel Guide Oracle, you have Sacred Plant and Composure. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle, you have Cain, Life Force Energy. From the Universal Love Healing cards, you have Earth Connection. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have 6th House, Routine. From the Tower of the Divine, you have the 5 of Wands, the Fool, and the Ace of Wands. And from the Tower of Sexual Magic, you have the Emperor. I feel like this person is going to be really, really trustworthy for you. And they're the kind of person where they're very disciplined and they get on with what they have to do and they take their responsibilities very seriously. And I'm seeing that you will as well within this marriage. And it feels like it will be kind of tough at times because I do feel like you will both take it seriously. But I feel like you both have like different paths in life. I'm kind of getting the impression that maybe sometimes it will be like both of you need to focus on one person's career, maybe at the expense of the other person's career or something like that. It might be that you maybe want to live in different countries or something like that. I'm seeing there's like points of disagreement or points of friction and points where maybe one person has to like sacrifice their goals in favor of the others. But it does feel like it's very simple to make those kind of decisions for most of you watching, because you love each other so much, and it feels like it's very easy to feel at home with each other. And like I said, to trust each other, so it feels like when you do need to make those kind of tough choices, even if you do disagree at first, it feels like you'll figure out the right thing to do between yourselves. And yeah, I feel like it won't take you too long to find the right path forwards for yourselves. I feel like this person's really, really good for you. Like, they feel like they're very helpful for you in terms of, they're like a stabilizing influence. They're very grounded. They're kind of strict with like budget, I want to say, and strict with time management and how they do their work and their business. Like, it feels like they have like a very busy schedule, and it's like impossible for them to fit in things that are not pre-agreed upon, but they do try and be spontaneous. And I feel like there are lots of spontaneous romantic things that they will do for you and that will happen in your marriage. And it feels like there's lots of like wonderful getaways and amazing sex, I want to say. Like, I don't feel like this person's really boring, but they do have a routine that they have to follow, and they do take their work seriously. So there may be, at the beginning at least, they may be sometimes resistant to like spontaneous getaways, or I don't know, whatever else. There might be like spontaneous date requests that are said no to or something like that. But it feels like eventually this person becomes more spontaneous and your relationship gets more and more exciting with time, I want to say. I don't know what it is. It's just like at the beginning, maybe other people don't like your relationship, or you maybe are going in different directions and then you end up on the same path kind of thing. So it becomes easier to do the same thing on the same day. Like, I really feel like one of you has like a strict job to start with, and maybe the other is like a creative or an entrepreneur and they can set their own hours or something like that. It's like you have like very different routines and schedules at some point. And it feels like one person is finding it hard to go with the flow at one point. I don't know why this is coming through, but it feels like it's part of the divine plan. And it kind of shows how much you want each other, because like, say the person who's really busy with work and everything else that they have going on, for them to invest time and energy in this relationship, it's like a sign that they must really love it and love you, or that you love them. Whichever way around it resonates, and it feels like it's worth it no matter how busy life gets. It's always worth making plans with each other. I do see you guys going on really amazing dates, and some of them are spontaneous, but I do feel like you'll mostly try to plan them because of like your busy work schedules and things. But yeah, do expect like spontaneous lovemaking and really exciting, spicy holidays to like far out getaway destinations and really romantic things to happen. I feel like this person, they have good plans in life and you have good plans. I'm hearing like a retirement plan and like a 401k and a plan for how to be a billionaire or something like that. It's like this person is, I want to say, wise beyond their years and they're dominating life. And they've had setbacks and overcome them. And they're kind of fresh, I feel like, and they know how to win with life and get what they want. This person's, I feel like for you guys, maybe it's you, but for most of you watching, the person you're asking about, they're a very good provider. And they might be able to provide you with your dream house. But for some of you guys, I feel like it's you and you're going to be able to provide this person with their dream house. And it might be like great stress to you. But it feels like it's like part of the plan, like if it's your retirement plan and your 401k and all of that, it feels like it's all really within means and like this person will be really driven with you. I strongly see the sense of someone being an artist and having maybe like a great destiny there, and it feels really exciting for you both as a couple. I feel like there's a lot of very exciting career stuff that goes on. And it feels important to say it because I don't feel like another relationship would either allow you to pursue your goals this way, or like for the other person, allow them to pursue their goals that way. Or maybe like inspire them because like maybe someone's an artist and it's like the inspiration they get from this marriage makes their like hit piece, or I don't know, like maybe they're a sculptor and they sculpt a statue of you guys together and it sells for like $1 million. I don't know. It's like something really exciting happens as a result of creativity and inspiration and the joy that you bring to each other. I do feel like you'll argue sometimes. Like, I don't want to oversell this as like a perfect marriage. You guys know how I run on this channel. We don't delude ourselves and we don't deceive people watching. But I do see a lot of love here, and I feel like no matter how annoyed you get with each other, you're not going to stay annoyed with each other. It's like you figure out how to start fresh after a small disagreement. It does feel like the arguments are kind of petty, and I don't feel like it's really between you guys and about you guys. It seems more about external stuff that's happening outside of you, like maybe one of you wants to go to this location and the other one wants to go to this location, and you just like slightly bicker about which one to do, and then just like get together on it and figure out what you want to do, and there's no love lost there. So it's like really simple little small frictions that you can easily resolve. And I feel like it's more other people, like I do feel like other people might talk about your relationship or your marriage in a way that maybe frustrates both of you, and you might find that like I just feel like other relationships around you might find not as good as your marriage. For some of you, it's one of those things where I feel like you have a lot of friends, you and your partner, it feels like you have friends, and you have lots of people who are not involved in your relationship exactly, but like kind of on the sidelines, maybe like friends and well-wishers or colleagues who are like a bit too close to you and always around. Maybe they just have too much to say at times, and it might just create a little bit of conflict here and there. But I don't feel like it's anything to worry about too much. It feels like this relationship is very life enhancing. And I feel like it's very easy to stay in this marriage and stay with each other because it's going to feel fresh all the time. I don't feel like you guys get used to each other in a way of like getting bored of each other and treating each other and the marriage like routine. It's more like you always come back home to each other and save your excitement for each other, I want to say. And it feels like you have that fiery passion for each other no matter what day it is, and no matter how much you've argued or anything like that. It's always going to be really fiery when you get together, and I feel like you're really attracted to each other always. Especially the masculine towards the feminine. It feels like when she's not around, he's going to be like fantasizing about her and things like that. So yeah, I definitely don't feel like there's ever going to be attraction lost in this coupleship. And it feels like your divine partner, it feels like the destined partner, like the right partner you could be with, is the person who you marry. And they belong with you and you belong with them. And it feels like you kind of work in tandem almost. Like, I'm not sure if at one point you maybe work together on something. Maybe it is like you're both creatives and you do some like creative art together. And maybe you don't always agree, but sometimes you collaborate and it's like wonderful. I mean, I'm just hearing this like a collaboration of energies between you and your partner's spirit that makes for something wonderful on earth. And I don't know if it's art or just like communication that you have with each other and maybe friends around you that's really like maybe challenging for people, but it feels like uplifting. For some reason, I don't know why, it feels like you're both very good people with like good ideas and you're hardworking. And this marriage feels like very set and I want to say set in stone and confirmed and like it's going to happen already. And like you guys have like a soul connection already that's very set and rooted and grounded. And I don't really see anything that could shake your marriage. Your marriage seems like it's going to be very strong. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It feels like if you're not married, I feel like this marriage is going to be quite soon. And I also want to add there may be a lot of competition for you, but also your partner. And it feels like it's quite obvious to each of you that you're the one, that you're like the chosen one for each other. It just feels like a no-brainer. And I want to say another point is you might meet and quickly marry. Just because it's like, you know, like you maybe been with, this is really random, but I feel like one of you or both of you have been with like a lot of trash people who are really annoying and just like not really your vibe. And it's really obvious when you meet this person that they're the one and you don't ever want to let go of them. It's like they're really compatible with you and they just fit with you and fit with your life. And yeah, minimal arguments and minimal problems. I feel like this is a vibe for you guys, group 3. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below. Leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of readings like this. If you like a personal reading, check out the information below. You can also find details of my Patreon and my PayPal for donations if you're feeling generous. I'd be super grateful. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Garnet. Let's see what cards you have. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle you have Amaterasu, No More Hiding, and Aphrodite, Eternal Love. From the Angel Guide Oracle you have Friendship and Union. From the Universal Love Healing cards you have Emergence. From the Black Moon Astrology cards you have Cancer, I Feel. From the Tower of the Divine you have the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the Six of Wands, and then from the Tower of Sexual Magic you have the Seven of Pentacles. This feels like a really, really happy one. It feels like the kind of pure spiritual marriage that is really for life and brings out the best side of you, and it feels like your partner will be your best friend for life. And I feel like they'll really understand you and you'll be very connected on an emotional level. It feels like your partner is in tune with your feelings. This person might be a Cancer. They don't have to be, but they just might be having Cancer in their chart. They feel like someone who's quite introverted, and I feel like they are very spiritual, very religious even. They might be very religious. This person might have saved themselves for marriage. They may not have had a long-term relationship before, and maybe you haven't either. So yeah, it's coming across as like really spiritually clean and hygienic and pure and very precious and special. For some of you guys, this might be an introduced or an arranged marriage, but it feels like it's like divine and destined, even if that's the case. It's just like you may have met through people who you really trust, like friends or family is the kind of vibe I'm getting. Or for some of you, it's almost like spirit is like introducing your marriage or arranging your marriage. I know that's really funny to say, but it's like a feeling I'm getting that some of you have been like alone for a long time, maybe for your whole life. Like maybe you've never been with anyone and been saving yourself, and or the other person has, and like wondering when someone's going to come. And it feels like at the divine moment, it's like a moment when you get guided to a certain location at a certain time. And maybe you make a friend and the friend introduces you to this person or something like that, or you just like bump into this person one day. But yeah, it feels like a divine meeting that just feels like destiny, whether it's introduced by a friend or family, or whether you happen to like bump into each other one day. But yeah, I do feel a friendship forms first before you get intimate or anything like that. It feels like you kind of do maybe, even if you are not virgins, let's say already, it feels like within this coupleship, maybe you do wait for marriage to consummate your relationship. It feels like you maybe feel like a spiritual reason to do things like in a correct way according to spirit. And it feels like you want to get to know each other on a friendship basis before you do anything sexual with each other or explore each other's body. It feels like that kind of creates more longing so that you guys find that your relationship is like more long lasting because you waited for so long and lusted after each other for so long. I want to say it's like maybe some of you guys, for some of you, it's like you've been friends for ages with this person before any romance happens. Like maybe you've been friends since school or something. You've always been friends, and you would have never imagined anything happen with you guys. But maybe eventually you just like look at each other the right way one day, and you realize like you're more than friends. So yeah, I do feel like there's a really good basis for this relationship, which is like a similar shared, I want to say, moral code and maybe religion and beliefs or belief system and maybe similar cultural heritage and I want to say like countries of origin and maybe ethnicity or something like that. It's like you guys have some commonalities or some common ground, which maybe not everyone has, like religion or beliefs or like cultural practice, which maybe is not for everyone to have. Maybe only specific, maybe say tribes practice a certain way of doing something and you guys like share that. So it feels like very fitting, like whatever that means for you. It feels like this person fits you, like they're the correct partner for you. And I feel like your family really like them. I don't know if that matters to you guys, like it doesn't need to matter to everyone. But yeah, I feel like for a lot of you guys, it does really matter that your family approves of this person. And they do, and they think this person's like a fucking hugely amazing catch, like the best catch you could ever get. It's like everyone's really impressed and everyone ships this relationship, I want to say. Yeah, going back to this person, I do feel like they're very introverted and they kind of do try and do the right thing. And I feel like they are very family oriented, but they also might be very prominent in their career. I feel like they might be famous even for some of you guys. And it's like a big career that they have. And you might be, especially if you're the feminine, you might find that you don't have to do very much because this person has like money and resources and fame, and you might find that you get to live like a leisure life, like a life of luxury where you just get to sit at home and read and spend time with your family and enjoy like the fine life with like luxury fabrics and expensive getaways and things like that. I do feel like this person has it and they will take care of you, but especially they'll take care of you emotionally even if they're not always around. Like I do see you get your alone time in this relationship when your partner's busy working and taking on the world. And you will feel like your best ever self as a result of it. Like I feel like you get just the right amount of alone time. But also this person's your best friend and they make sure you never actually feel alone. You never feel lonely. And they're always inviting you on nice dates, I want to say, and taking you with them. It's like if your partner's famous, you're by their side. You're on their arm looking good. And maybe for some of you guys, it's like you guys are both famous together. Maybe you're already famous or something like that. But for more of you, I feel like it just makes you feel confident to be on this person's arm. Like for the majority of people watching, it's not that you're famous or your partner's famous, but just that they have like a big career or you have a big career. And it feels like you're both very confident people and you gather your confidence in the relationship because of how happy you are together and how much you support each other. And I feel like for some of you, you might have been maybe like socially introverted before marriage. And maybe you had just like lived at home with your parents and gone to school and not really known much about the world or not really got to like experience the world as much. But I feel like this person's going to take you everywhere and let you meet new people and let you get new experiences. And you're going to feel more confident than you've ever felt in your life, especially about how you look. I feel like this person will really just like put you on a pedestal in their mind and make you feel stunning. They're going to make you feel so attractive. And I feel like your living arrangements will be very pleasing to you. I'm not seeing like a huge house or anything specific to do with your house. It just looks very cozy and very relaxing. And I feel like it's very quiet, like it's like in a quiet, peaceful environment. And you might have a nice garden or live in a kind of area where you like the scenery and you like to go on like walks alone or together. I do see that you and your partner will enjoy physical time together, but you might not find that much time together on like a daytime basis. I feel like you'll sleep in the same bed and have your intimacy at night, maybe every night, but during the day I feel like you might just have to go out and live your separate lives and then come back together once you return home at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said, your partner will take you on their like highlight moments with them, like when they're doing something exciting. For some of you it's like awards shows and ceremonies and like restaurant openings and things like that if you're like really elite, let's say. But yeah, for most of you it's more like their work do, like meeting their colleagues at work when they're like wearing their best suit and you're in your best frock, and it's like really fun occasions. Actually, it might like seem like boring colleagues and stuff, but it's actually really fun, and I feel like you're gonna like getting out with this person. They're always gonna feel like your friend no matter what happens, and I don't really see you guys arguing. I feel like you're kind of on the same page, and I feel like you both keep yourself interested and entertained with other things in terms of like hobbies and interests and jobs and things like that. It feels like you both don't really mind your own space and your own quiet time. So I feel like there's not really much for you guys to argue about because you share the same belief systems and you trust each other, and it's like a comfortable relationship and a friendship to begin with. So it just feels like you don't really have any problems that I could tell you. And I don't want to make it sound too perfect, but I just feel like this one is like a very grown up, mature couple that know what they want and know what they're looking for. And maybe have been friends for ages, or at least like formed a relationship on friendship before going any further. So I feel like you understand each other's feelings and you're close and you get each other and you give each other space, but you also, I want to say, pray together and play together and hang out with each other's families and know how to like leave the other person to their own devices and not like interfere with their business and things like that. It feels like you just, again, trust each other. Like you don't have to pick at each other or, yeah, like ask each other's advice all the time even. It just feels like you live your own happy, confident life on your own. And this person does the same, and you're just really compatible, and you come home together and tell each other about your day and fall asleep together and take on life's challenges together. So it's a wonderful energy. I feel like this is like a perfect coupleship. And I'm really happy for you guys and your marriage. This one might be a while to wait for it, or maybe you've already been waiting for ages. But yeah, I do see a need for you to be quite, how do I put this? Like spiritually very clean and hygienic with yourself before you can have this person. Because I feel like it's something they're very proud of. Like they're very proud of, I want to say like celibacy, or maybe for some of you being a virgin and their religion. Like they're very, very, very proud. And it feels like you guys have the same moral code. If you don't, you might need to choose a different group because this sounds like maybe not your marriage. Like that's very, very clear. This one is like people who want to do it like by the book and by the spiritual way and make sure their marriage is for life and they don't believe in divorce or like remarriage or anything. So yeah, please do choose another group if that doesn't sound like you. But yeah, I'm seeing this one is like a need for you to stay solo and independent and not entertain people who are wrong for you in the meantime while you wait. Just focus on yourself and your own work and your own education, I want to say, because it feels like this person would appreciate that from you. Because that's what they're doing as well. It's like they're going out and smashing their career and making friends and being a really great person on their own. And they are kind of like confident by themselves and self-sufficient, and they don't really need a partner. So I feel like you should try to strive to be like that before this person comes in. And trust when you're guided to do things, like if you just feel like a message comes to you from spirit to tell you to go somewhere a certain day or talk to a certain friend or something, just please go with it because it feels like it's for you. And yeah, I feel like this one's a long-lasting one, so no worries there. And I hope you enjoyed the reading group 4. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Apatite. Let's see what cards you have. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle, you have Rhiannon, Inner Strength, and Athena, Wise Decision, From the Angel Guide Oracle, you have Surrender. From the Universal Love Healing cards, you have Embrace. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Water Element, Sensing. From the Tower of the Divine, you have the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. And then from the Tower of Sexual Magic, you have the Seven of Wands. This feels like a really easygoing relationship to start with, and I feel like it's really going to continue well. I just feel like there may be some little hurdles to get over at some point. It doesn't feel like right at the beginning or anywhere to really like prevent the forward movement of it, or like to prevent the marriage from happening or anything like that. It just feels like together as a couple you go through some challenges at times, I want to say, and obviously I don't think most people's lives will be without challenge, so it kind of goes without saying. But yeah, I feel like you guys can really handle it, and you're the kind of mature people where I feel like you will stand by each other through whatever happens in your lives. Like maybe at some point you have to move country or something, and I feel like it will be really happy for you eventually, but maybe the transition process is really difficult, or maybe you have to move cities and the transition process is kind of difficult and tough. And I do feel like you have to really rely on yourself to stay strong no matter what happens, because it's kind of worth it for the sake of the fact that you and this person are really good together, and I feel like you are really supportive of each other. So yeah, it's like if someone has to move for work or something, the other one would really go with them even if they didn't want to, say, even if it meant leaving friends and family behind. It just feels like you're so close and so connected that you would want to make sure that you can still stay together. I feel like someone in the connection may have to be submissive at certain times towards the other one, not in like a sex way. I'm not saying anything like that. It's more like say one person has a very prominent job that earns a lot of money, and the other person has like a job that they really like, but maybe it doesn't earn as much, and it's like the person with the good job, maybe their company is relocating and they have to move, say, from like Spain to Switzerland or something like that. It's like a far away journey. And I do feel like it will be unwanted, but it's like you or the other person will decide to put your own wants and needs aside for the benefit of the other person in the connection. Because it seems like a clever thing to do. It seems like the correct decision. I see you guys will talk about things in detail. It's like you're very good at communicating. You seem to be not the most forward with your emotions, both you and your partner, but I do feel like you have a lot of physical touch that reassures you. Like maybe you don't always say I love you or tell each other how much you care about each other, but I feel like you will show each other in ways of, like, for example, sacrificing your own job for your partner's job, or maybe like just putting your own needs aside in favor of their needs, in other words, or picking to like go to their family's house for Christmas instead of yours. It's just like small things and big things that you will do for each other to show each other that you really do care, even if you don't need to say it to each other every day. And I do feel like you'll feel alive with each other and you'll feel present in the moment with each other. I really do see a lot of really great convo, and I feel like you're very intellectual, you and your partner, and you like kind of intellectual discussions about things like politics or history, or those kind of food for thought content discussions where you've maybe read an article and you want to share it with your partner and get their thoughts. It feels like it brings you both so much joy to have those kind of communications and conversations with each other. Like they're very enlightening and full of ideas, and you're also full of ideas, and it's like you really get each other's intellectual juices flowing. I feel like maybe one of you's like a keen writer or a keen like a debater. I don't know if you like to debate with people, your friendship circle, or maybe even people online. Like maybe one of you has like a platform where you share your thoughts or something like that. Maybe one of you's a teacher and it's like you run your ideas by each other. It's just really exciting energy for those of you guys where you like that kind of thing. And it feels like you do give each other strength and courage and confidence because you trust each other, and in the sense of like if one person does make a decision like I have to leave this city and move there, you would trust your partner, and I feel like they would trust your opinion if you said, oh, but what about this, this, and this? They would listen to you and trust it and want to take your opinion into consideration. It feels like you have a lot of closeness when it comes to, like, 1, communication, 2, physical touch, but 3, like, making plans together regularly and trying to make regular, I want to say, off time where you don't discuss anything stressful or your jobs or do anything too much. It could be like a downtime where you just promise each other you're going to have a night at home, or like a holiday where you go abroad and turn your phones off or something like that. It feels like maybe you have busy jobs or one of you has a busy job. I feel like you will have children. This is the first reading where it's like come through for sure that there's going to be children. But also I feel like maybe pets and other people who are just like friends, who are like a part of your family, I want to say. It's like your marriage family. It includes people who are pets and children and also friends and family, I want to say. And maybe even colleagues and your jobs. It's like everything is part of the whole of your relationship. And it feels like you do stand by each other no matter what happens. And you understand each other, even if in some ways you're quite different from each other. I just feel like you get each other and you don't mind working around each other. It feels like you do maybe take time of alone time from each other, despite being so close. I want to say you have moments where you maybe need some space from each other to think about your own stuff. But it feels like during the times when you need alone time, your partner also needs alone time. It's like you're very compatible in your kind of habits and routines and cycles and rhythms, I want to say. I do see you moving somewhere very far in this relationship or this marriage. And I feel like the marriage is going to go through different stages where at times it's really easy and everything's really happy and there's nothing negative I could tell you at all. It's like lots of rest time and money's easy and you guys are just sailing through life together. And I feel like you'll have very short periods of like extreme stress where there's maybe just one small thing that happens that one of you has to focus on that brings on like a big dramatic sidestep from what you were doing, or a change of pace or something like that. But it feels like you quickly resolve your problems. You're both problem solvers. You're both very clever and you're both very strict with yourself when it comes to things you need to do. So I feel like when it comes down to it, you will fix anything that goes wrong very quickly and get things resolved and get back to a point of happiness and moving forwards well together. And I do see you again being supportive of each other's needs and trying to avoid arguing with each other too much, but you will be honest with each other about what you think and what you feel. I'm not seeing you guys censoring your opinions from each other at all. It's like you do really trust each other's opinions. So it's like there's no need for you guys to ever lie to each other. It's like a not that emotional on the surface relationship. Like your friends probably can't imagine you guys having PDA or like cuddling or kissing or kind of being cute together. Like I feel like you're very serious people, again, with like really good jobs, and maybe like you wear a suit to work or something, or you have like a particular image that you're trying to uphold. So you don't really do things in public that are like maybe necessarily like coupley, I want to say. It's like you're friends in public and you have respect for each other and you take care of each other. But it does feel like you get each other, and like when one of you's having a bad day, the other one will probably want to make sure they're doing well and be really supportive and try to talk them out of a bad mood and things like that, I want to say. So yeah, I really like this reading for you guys. It feels like you're going to be with someone very compatible for you in terms of this marriage. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the Angelite. Let's see what cards you have. From the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle, you have Imhotep, Visionary. From the Angel Guide Oracle, you have Divine Timing. From the Universal Love Healing cards, you have Heaven on Earth. From the Black Moon Astrology cards, you have Ninth House, Faith. from the Tower of Divine, you have the Three of Cups, the Seven of Wands reversed, the Two of Coins, and then from the Tower of Sexual Magic, you have the Queen of Swords. This is giving really sweet energy. I do feel like this person is like very different. They have really unique energy, and I feel like from the moment you see them the first ever time, you're going to be really drawn to them in a way that you can't really explain. In a way that feels quite magical. It's like their eyes and their character and their creativity, like they have a sense of style that's quite unique to them. And it will really draw you in, and I do feel like there's some spiritual connection between you that you notice immediately. It might be the way they turn up in your life and the time that they turn up in your life. It feels all very special and all very profound. And like it's all very easy and very obviously good. Like this person's energy towards you will always be good. And I feel like the meeting place will be somewhere lovely, and their energy towards you will be lovely. And I feel like if you do pray on it, or if you do get readings on it or anything like that, it will be already positive and already good. All signs are pointing towards this person is what I'm trying to say. Some of you might even have an instinct of like who it's going to be already. You might kind of know who your divine partner is and who you're going to marry. Maybe you're already married. But yeah, it feels like the destined person for you. And someone who's very different, and I feel like you're very different. And you match each other. It's like maybe no one else matches you, but this person does, if you get what I'm saying. I feel like you might be friends first, but maybe not for very long. It just feels like there's a sense of like teasing each other at the beginning. It feels like you're really flirty with each other, but not letting each other touch. I want to say at the beginning, it feels like you try your very best not to fall in too deep too quickly with this person by withholding physical touch and things like that. Like I feel like you'll probably stick to like maybe hand holding and like just talking to each other for a while, and it feels like it's going to be really difficult to resist. But it just feels like you're trying to like withhold the passion getting too strong too quickly, because I kind of feel like as soon as you do get started with like the physical intimacy, you will be very likely to conceive a baby, and I feel like it's going to be really happy to you guys, but it just might be something that is maybe a bit unexpected timing-wise. It will be the divine timing, and you'll be really grateful for your child. The child will feel like sent from heaven. But yeah, I feel like it will just happen really quickly, and then you might find the second one comes quickly and the third one comes quickly. Maybe you just weren't quite ready, and it feels like you're in, again, like too deep, too quick, and you can't stop it, and it's like too fast to get off. And you wouldn't want to anyway, because it's like your dream come true, but just maybe you weren't ready at that moment for like a more mouths to feed, say, or something like that. But yeah, I'm feeling like you guys have a really, really difficult time resisting each other sexually. So it feels like you kind of find it impossible to not want to, let's say, like play with each other and do the business that will make babies, let's say, just like make babies activities. It feels like you guys are really attractive to each other in a way that's like your eyes and your soul and your creativity and your dress sense and your ideas and everything about you. It's like the bone structure and the look in your eyes and the smile. It's like there doesn't need to be a particular problem for you guys if, say, someone gains weight or loses weight or changes their vibe. It's like the internal soul is giving the right energy. Maybe some of you guys, you don't have like a particular preference for somebody. Like I feel like you guys are quite chill about like let's say like skin tone or weight or height or blah blah blah. Like maybe some of you guys are pan and you just like the energy of the person. It feels like that's the main attraction for you guys, even if some of you guys do have like a specific type and this person does meet that. For those of you guys where you are like pan or something, it just feels like the energy is like magical for this person. They're like your special soul tribe person who you never thought you would meet. And it's like the look in their eyes just tells you that they're right for you and they understand you. I strongly feel like there's a sense of like knowing for some of you who this partner is already. It's like they're destined for you and you already know, and it's like all signs are pointing towards them and your whole life has been taking you to meeting them. I feel like all your friends get on really well with this person, and you will find that they are like your best friend in the whole world. And like you don't really find a problem with any of their people around them. I just feel like there's no arguments and there's no conflict between you guys, except maybe feeling like you maybe become parents really, really, really quickly into the relationship or something like that. It just feels like you will. I feel like 2 kids as well, like at least 2 kids for you guys. It just feels like you will get started really quickly. And I want to say you don't use condoms or protection when you make love. And it's maybe really enjoyable and it just like creates children quite quickly. And I feel like it'll be affordable, but you just might find that like energetically it's like a bit tiring to deal with, but it's worth it. And yeah, I feel like no matter what happens, you guys will have friends around to help and people who love you, and I feel like everything is spiritually blessed. So just no matter what happens, just trust that everything will be fine and this relationship will be blessed, and other people are rooting for it. I want to say it's like all your friendship circle like this person and like their influence in your life. It feels like you're very compatible with each other and you have really easygoing fun together. Like I don't feel like there's ever a time when you don't want to be together. I hope that makes sense to you. It's like say one person's invited to a party, it's never like the other person doesn't want to go. It's always like, yeah, I'd love to go with you, like naturally, not like they're forcing themselves to go or anything like that. And when one person's ready for, let's say like marriage, when one person's thinking like I've got to marry you, the other person's thinking it as well. When one person's looking at the other person like, God, I wish we could like have sex already, the other person's thinking the same thing. You're really in tune with each other, and I do feel like there's nothing to tell you that I feel like would really take away from like the feeling of just a soul connection when you look in this person's eyes. Like I just can't get away from the feeling that no matter what, you're gonna love this person. It's just that their energy is so different, and they really do feel like the start of you. That sounds so weird to say, but it's like you've been waiting your whole life for this person to come in, and when you meet them and when you marry them, it just feels like everything's aligning for you perfectly and for both of you. It's like your best friendships start to develop around you and life doesn't feel like so much hard work, and your family just starts growing really quickly and it feels divinely blessed. I also feel like money will come to you enough for all the children that you have to feed, and you will have really a strong fire burning for each other for the whole relationship. I feel like it maybe develops slowly. Like I said, I feel like you maybe don't say yes to each other at the beginning and you just flirt with each other, and that maybe makes it more long lasting eventually. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reading group 6. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of videos like this. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.